As a part of our study tour, we, the fashion design students of all batches, recently visited Ajanta and Ellora caves and were simply mesmerized by the splendor of the sculptures and paintings, which are one of the finest surviving examples of Indian art. Our first visit was to Ajanta Caves. Located in Aurangabad district of Maharashtra state, these 30 rock-cut Buddhist cave monument dates from the 2nd century BC to about 650 AD. The caves, lying deep inside the Sahyadri hills, are hollowed out on the deep face of a horseshoe-shaped hillside with the Vaghora river flowing beneath.
What we'll be looking at here are ancient designs. Designs of houses, designs of temples, and designs of ornamentation, clothing. It's basically a monastic establishment. All over the Maharashtra, there are about 1300 caves of this type, and Ajanta falls in one of the early groups.
These were Buddhist monasteries divided into several different caves, which had a large emphasis on teaching and worship. Monks were probably assigned to specific caves for living. Their layout reflects this organizational structure, with most of the caves only connected through the exterior.
We started off with cave number 9. There we saw the stupa. It's basically made of the entire geometrical shapes. It's basically a symbol to worship Buddha.
We found a lot of pillars, and each pillar has a lot of details. We saw a flower motif, different animal motifs, and each motif has a lot of details.
There were 4 divisions among the craftsmen who were working on this cave.
The cave number 24 was incomplete, which helped us understand how these structures were made.
Each and every part of a sculpture is done by different sculptor.
Like two laborers used to do basic things and intricate work was done by the artist.
Earlier, the area was heavily forested and the caves were covered by jungle until accidentally discovered in 1819 by a British officer on a hunting party. Within a few decades, the caves became famous for their exotic settings, impressive architecture, and above all, their exceptional but unique paintings.
The paintings in the caves, they depict many things like the Jataka tales. Elephants are used to show royalty, the royals staying in the cave.
If you look at this figure properly, you can understand that she is a doctor. You can make out from her attire too. There is a hood on her top.
We came to know that there was no dyes used during those times, so only white color costume was worn by the Buddhist monks. So that was an observation from fashion point of view.
But in the later paintings, like the one which go ahead of time in the Buddhist period, we see natural colors are used in the clothing.
Unlike much Indian paintings, compositions are not laid out in horizontal compartments like a panel, but show large scenes spreading in all directions. The ceilings are also painted with sophisticated and elaborate decorative motifs, many derived from scriptures.
Just see the difference in ornamentation and clothing, how it differed from paintings of early centuries of Christian era, which were plain white. Now here you get to see check pattern. There's a cushion behind that Nagaki.
From the paintings, we saw the different hairstyles of the women and the different ornaments, and we also saw that pearl was a major jewelry ornament which was used. And we see various motifs like flowers, lotuses, and we see a connection between the motifs in the Paithani sari and the Ajanta caves.
The paintings have deteriorated significantly since they were rediscovered, yet remarkable for its grace, elegance, and serenity.
This cave is one of the most complete and most preserved cave as far as structures are concerned from inside. A lot of beautiful carvings. This cave is also the one which has the sleeping Buddha or the reclining Buddha.
धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि.
Ajanta Caves, a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1983, is in the care of Archaeological Survey of India.
There was a huge crack in the ceiling and the cave was coming down. So to stabilize it, we had to support it with those pillars. And similarly, we also carry out restoration works, which is main job of my department.
So basically, we were inspired by the motifs and the different structural forms which we could incorporate in our designs.
Our next visit was to Ellora, which is 29 kilometers northwest of Aurangabad city in Maharashtra. Well known for its monumental caves, Ellora represents the epitome of Indian rock-cut architecture. This World Heritage Site, consisting 34 caves, are actually structures excavated out of the vertical face of the Charanandari hills. Ellora occupies a relatively flat region of the Western Ghats. Ancient volcanic activity in this area created many layered formations known as Deccan traps, enabling architects to pick basalt with finer grains for more detailed sculpting. These Buddhist, Hindu and Jain rock-cut temples were excavated between 5th and 12th centuries. Built in proximity, these caves demonstrate the religious harmony prevalent during that period of Indian history. It is a protected monument under the Archaeological Survey of India. The Buddhist caves, excavated between 6th and 8th century AD, consist mostly of monasteries and a prayer hall. In many of these caves, sculptors have endeavored to give the stone the look of wood. The Hindu caves were excavated between the middle of the 6th century to the end of the 8th century. Some were of such complexity that they required several generations of planning and coordination to complete. Cave 16, also known as Kailasha, is the unrivaled centerpiece of Ellora. All the carvings are done in more than one level. A two-storied gateway opens to reveal a U-shaped courtyard. The courtyard is edged by columned galleries 3 stories high. The galleries are punctuated by huge sculpted panels and alcoves containing enormous sculptures of a variety of deities. The construction of this cave was a feat of human genius, which entailed the removal of 200,000 tons of rock and took 100 years to complete. The 5 Jain caves at Ellora belong to the Digambara sect. They were built during the 10th and 12th centuries. All these caves reveal specific dimensions of Jain philosophy and tradition. Ajanta and Ellora caves undoubtedly are our proudest heritages. Owing to myriad reasons, many sculptures have been damaged beyond repairs. Let's all resolve to safeguard these monuments from further damages so that we can continue to draw inspirations from them for generations to come.